Peggy 16.
Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever theHunter Call of the Wild Winter Preview Show. My name is Alexander and I'm the executive producer for the game. And with me I have...
Hello everyone, I'm Stacy and I'm the product director for the game. And we are so excited to welcome you to our show today, where we're going to talk about, well, mainly things coming later this year for theHunter, but also, if you stick around to the end, maybe even a little bit about the future beyond that. And if you're joining us live, make sure to join the conversation on YouTube.
We're going to start with looking at the past a little bit, but I first want to take a moment to thank the dev team for all the hard work that you're doing. It's truly fantastic to be working with all of you every day. So, talking about 2024, you have to mention the fantastic reserve that we released, Sundapatan. It has amazing landscapes, narrative, and biomes, and of course, incredible animals. My favorites are the tiger, the ghost of the mountain, and the great one, Tar.
Yes, Nepal was absolutely stunning, and in my opinion, probably one of our highest quality reserves yet. So it was such a joy to be part of, and also, you gotta just love those tigers. I mean, are you hunting them or are they hunting you? It's really a thrill. But Nepal isn't the only thing that we launched this year. Earlier this year, we launched the high caliber weapon pack with a whole new suite of guns for you to hunt with. We also did our first ever licensed partnership with our friends at Fox Pro on the Ambusher pack. And most recently, we released scopes and crosshairs for when you want that little bit of extra control over your weapon. But we haven't only been doing things with you guys, there's also been lots going on behind the scenes.
That's right. We've improved a lot of processes and tooling that we use, so we can continue releasing high quality things to you. We also take every chance to listen to the community and weave that into our ways of working and what we produce. So we're trying actually a lot of new things this December that you're going to be learning about very shortly.
Yes, we are super excited to get this show on the road. So on that note, let's go to our first announcement.
Awesome, so we're getting a new dog. Hi, my name is Vivi. I'm a community manager and I'm sitting here with Arshak, our lead game designer, and Dom, our AI programmer on theHunter Call of the Wild. So we're getting a new dog. Wait, who's that?
This is the pointer, the new pointer, yeah.
Oh, do they have a name?
No, we don't have a name yet, but if you're watching tonight, you can name your dog.
Oh, go name the dog in the chat. Okay, cool. So we got a new pointer. Can you tell me a bit about what it does? What does it bring to the table?
Sure, yes. The pointer, as the name suggests, is a pointer. It's a German short-hair pointer and it points to animals from class 1 to 9, excluding predators of the higher range. So basically when you're out hunting, you ask the dog, help me find a class 1 animal or a class 2 to 4 animal, and it'll start searching around and find something for you to walk towards. So it's very helpful. Very helpful.
Super cool.
You can also use it to flush the smaller animals, the birds. And we also have a cool new feature, which is a spot point. So if you spot an animal with your binoculars, you can tell the dog to track it and it will not lose the scent for it. So even if you miss it, then your dog will help you find it again.
Apart from that, it also has better usage of critical position, which I know some people in the community are confused about. So what critical position does is that when you're tracking towards an animal and the dog is noticing that the tracked animal is getting a bit skittish, maybe about to spook, the dog will go in a critical position, you get a little notice, the dog animations changes, and if you see that, then it means basically you need to also be quiet and be more mindful of how you approach. So it helps you hunt more easily or more efficiently if you're aware of what's going on in the surroundings. Apart from that, also during its search process, when it finds an animal, it'll start moving towards the animal, and when it's about 125 meters away from it, it'll start sneaking towards that animal. So it basically is telling you to also be more quiet, be aware of where the animal might be, so you don't mess up and spook it.
Oh, wow.
It will tell you as well if you spook the animal, so it's not able to track animals that are fleeing.
Exactly.
So yeah, it'll tell you that you screwed up.
Oh, that sounds like really useful. Awesome. Can you tell us a bit about the development process of the pointer dog?
Yeah, sure. It's been like quite a smooth development for this dog. I think you've worked with several dogs before and you already knew what to put into this dog. It was well designed from the beginning. So it was quite a nice development process. And as an AI programmer, it's usually easy to make the AI, in this case the dog, do what you need it to do. But the hard part is to make it feel natural, right? So make it feel like it's a real dog. So for us, most of our time was dedicated to how do we make this dog feel like a natural pointer, right? Example on when it starts to search, it needs to find clues and tracks before it finds the actual scent of the animal that you're looking for, right? And also when it's already on the scent for an animal, it needs to react to other animals that are on the way. So it's not just oblivious of what's surrounding, right? So you'll see your dog react to everything that surrounds it while it's actually searching for your prey.
Yeah, that's really interesting because as you say, it needs to act natural and not be too robotic. And that natural part is very hard to get right because it's a game, and how real dogs behave in real life is not the same thing as how in-game dogs behave.
It's not like as predictable, basically.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I have a dog myself. And when we're out walking and there might be like a rabbit walking outside, I might see the rabbit, but my dog doesn't. And I'm like, look, it's a rabbit over there. And my dog is like, I don't know what you're talking about.
The natural hunter?
Yeah, it's like that. If that happens in the game, the dog needs to like, oh, there's a rabbit here, right? It needs to kind of understand what you're understanding. So there's like discrepancies in what is natural in game and what is natural in real life. And that is an interesting challenge that we face.
I mean, it's actually emulating a trained dog that is trained to do specifically that. So
my dog is not
That's
trained.
fair. You need to train your dog better.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We also have like different experience depending on the class range that you're searching. So for example, for a small game, it's a more intimate experience, so it has to be like shorter distances. But if you go and search for larger animals, you can set your dog loose and it will find an animal far away for you, and it will tell you when it finds it. So that's a cool feature.
Wow, cool. So I want to settle a debate here. Some people in the community argue about if treats and petting your dog and bonding with your dog actually does anything. Does it?
It does. It does. It's the bond feature. So naturally, if you have a dog, you have to take care of it. It has to be happy doing what it does. So a dog with high bond, which is when you treat it with love, we pet it, you praise it, it's much more efficient. It gets back its focus much quicker. And the different types of praise mechanics we have or animations we have give the dog different amounts. So for example, if you give it treats, it gets a lot of bond. If you just pet it, it's a bit less, and if you do praise, it's even less. So it depends on what situation you are. If you just want to give it a quick whistle, you can do that, but if you have time and want to go up and give it a pet or a treat, that's even better. So it depends on what type of hunter you are and how you want to use the dog. If you're a slow hunter, just using the dog now and again, then maybe just a praise is good enough. But if you're using the dog over and over again in a quick succession, then you need to take your time to give it more love.
That's a nice tip.
And a sneak extra tip, if you give your dog a praise after it's done something successfully, it gets even more bond. So that's
positive reinforcement.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yep.
I mean, just being a nice owner. It's a good motivation to praise your dog.
I hope you just want to be a nice owner.
we had. I don't know if people are petting their dog now, but when we did the first dog, we actually had a survey question saying that, do you want to be able to pet your dog? And it was like 99.9% yes. So
and
everybody.
What monster did the 0.1%?
yeah, exactly. Everybody wants to pet their dog, so pet your dog.
Yeah, go pet your dog. Oh, nice. Good. Okay, so we also have a new feature coming at the same time that is going to be for all dog owners. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure, yeah, we'll have the expert dog feature, which will allow you to teach your dog another job. So for example, if you have a pointer, you can teach it to be a tracker or a retriever, or if you are a retriever, you can teach it to be tracker or pointer once it reaches like the max level for that job. So yeah, you can have nice combos for hunting different things, right? You can have different combinations there.
So the saying is not true. You can teach old dogs new tricks as long as you own 2 DLCs.
Okay, cool. Is there any combos that you like in particular with this new feature?
Yeah, I like while testing the feature, I like trying the pointer retriever combo, especially for a small game, right? So you can have your pointer point and flush the birds, and then when you shoot them, you can have the retriever right away, right? So it makes everything easier and more fluid when you're hunting the small game.
I'm a bit of a lazy hunter, kind of laid back, just easily walking through the woods. So my favorite combo is the pointer tracker. That means when I'm basically walking around, walking from lake to lake, I just have the dog searching, the pointer dog, searching for big animals that are around me. And when it finds something, I walk in that direction, I shoot it. I might be bad at shooting, so I kind of miss it a little bit. And then I use the same dog's tracking ability to find my prey. So very helpful for me.
That's cool.
So you let the dog do all the job, basically.
Yes, the dog is doing all the work.
It's the expert after all.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope you pet it.
I do. I buy lots of treats.
I'm watching you. Cool. Cool. So that means that like no matter your skill level, there's probably a combo for you that will work with the new feature. Awesome. Do you have any fun stories from working on the dog?
Yeah, I think from the beginning, like I said, like we try not to make the dog feel robotic, but since the first thing we wanted is to find an animal, it went like straight like a homing missile to the animals that it found, right? And before it just worked with distance, as opposed of actually finding with a vision. So it pointed like to trees or to a rock, right? Because an animal was like right behind it, so you feel like, okay, it's pointing to a tree or to a snow leopard, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a snow leopard.
One of my favorite funny stories that we actually implemented peeing and pooing, which is a small feature, but it's actually a feature that was requested from Flinter like 3 years ago, and I've had that request high up in my list, peeing and pooing Flinter. And it's actually a really good request because we have genders for the dog. You can have male and female, but there's no difference. It's just a cosmetic difference. But now you actually also get the correct peeing and pooing animations depending on if you have a female or male dog. One of the bugs we had when we were implementing that was that the dog was peeing, pooing every 2 seconds. Basically, 3 steps, pee, poo. 3 steps, pee and poo.
Like a medical condition.
Yeah, exactly. That was a fun, irritating bug.
Now, if you look at your dog long enough, you'll see that he'll find a bush and pee or poo, depending.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it pees and poos suitably.
Yeah.
A suitable amount.
We also had to look for reference, so a lot of videos of peeing dogs.
It's part of the job.
Yeah, out of context, I guess that would be a bit embarrassing. So we got a peeing and pooing dog. Awesome. But it also does other things. It also points and it flushes and a bunch of other cool things. Thank you, Arshak and Dom, for joining me today. It's been awesome. You can go wishlist the pointer dog now. It's coming on December 3rd. Yeah, on to the next thing.
Howdy, my friends. If we haven't met before, my name is Jaxie Beard. I'm just some guy with a beard and guns. But I'm very pleased to be here today to introduce you to two of the gentlemen who have been very instrumental for that trailer you've just seen coming to our game. I have Lenny, our art director, and Bjorn, our principal game designer. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. That trailer is absolute fire. I am super excited. I can't wait to talk a little bit about this. So let's just jump right into this. As the folks have seen, this is something new to come to the game, something we haven't done before. And I'd like to talk a little bit about that and what makes this a different hunting experience. But really, Lenny, maybe you can tell us what differentiates this and what makes this a new hunting experience in the Hunter Call of the Wild.
Yeah, so to give a bit of background to this, once we're looking into what we're going to release with, like during this period, we looked into, of course, our community. We looked into what has the previous things been mentioned that the players really want, what kind of experiences have they been asking for, and out of that came this like really passionate group of players who were, like kind of shouting, screaming for a more catered bird experience. And once we saw that, we kind of tried to brainstorm a bit, come up with how can we do this? Is this an experience we can give to players, like the experience that they want? Can we get that in there? Mm-hmm. And after discussing that for a while and testing it out, we came up, yeah, it is possible, and we think we can also do it a bit better with some of the things we've been adding. So I think based on that, we look at, of course, we need something. Is it a reserve? Our reserve is too big for this experience. Like, it's a catered experience. We want it to be the perfect bird hunting experience to the players.
A much more customized hunting experience. Exactly. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. So we condensed the size of it down. So it's not as big as previous reserves, but it has the same amount of biomes, and it has beautiful biomes that's been upgraded as well as several new species of birds. And overall, improvements, both AI-wise and also, of course, for the animations and for other animals we've done a remaster as well.
Now let's come back to the biomes and in just a little bit, but I want to know a little bit more about the birds. So we've got 10 species, 2 of which are new birds to come to the game. What are the new birds?
So we have the ferruginous duck, which is a beautiful duck. It has this chestnut plumage. Perfect to have up on the wall next to the cinnamon teal.
Oh, yes, yes.
By the way, a free update is coming out together with this one as well. So a full remaster of the cinnamon teal as well. So you have the perfect combination now.
Yes.
That's not for the Salzwiesen Park. It's for previous reserves. So you're going to have to jump a bit around to get that combo.
Okay.
Beyond that, we have the Gatwall, which is, just one of the ducks you have to have if you are a bird hunter.
Yeah.
Both are waterfowl, so you'll be able to find them in several of the areas of the map where we have this, like the marshlands, the wetlands.
This is exciting. Now, I do know that there's been some improvements to the waterfowl hunting experience, Bjorn. If you want to maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we got a lot of feedback from the community about how birds are behaving, and we try to improve that a lot with this release, especially when it comes to how they take off and land. When it comes to the landing, we got some feedback that they're often landing on top of the player, which is kind of not what you expect when you have decoys. So now they're actually going to target the decoys instead.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and they're also going to come in as a group rather than one by one. So that should also be a bit more realistic.
So essentially what you're saying is, to make it that more authentic feeling, the way we set up our decoys now, we're really direct where they're going to land.
Exactly.
That's a major improvement. I'm very excited for that. Now, to come back to what you were just talking about with the different biomes, because this is going to really affect the experience and how it's a catered bird hunting experience. How do the biomes play into it? What can we expect?
Yeah, so you can sort of travel throughout the park here, where you can go from the meadows, which is where it's a sort of an in-between, where you have the European rabbit, one of our remastered animals as well.
Okay.
So there you have a bit of like the small games that's more like grounded. Then you can go through the beech forest, which is where you're going to have some of the upland birds. You're also going to be able to have, of course, the foxes, and then you can move into the crop fields, which is going to be a bit easier for, again, upland birds. And it's going to be where the pheasants are a lot in the game, usually.
Very nice.
And then from there you can move out into the wetlands, which is where you can find a lot of the ducks. So the wetlands have been improved massively visually. We have some denser clusters of vegetation in between, where you have dead trees and more vibrant foliage, of course. And then we have the water vegetation, which is going to make it feel a lot more immersive when you spend the time out there amongst the ducks with your decoys placed out to get them in. Now with the improved experience. And then you can move from there out until the sandy beach island we have.
Okay.
So we have sort of a bit of everything, and depending on what the players likes to see, what they want to hunt, they can just move around and they will never be bored.
This is amazing. I can't wait to see our community get out there and try this out. Because there's some really cool features and some really cool landmarks that are coming with this new park. And I have to say, when you first land in the park and you move through the beautiful German structure that is there, it takes you into probably one of the most exciting new features to come to the game that I know you had a very big part in, Bjorn, because, let's just get right to it. The clay shooting range. Now, if I'm correct, you actually worked on the Hunter Classic and created the shooting range over there, the clay range.
Yeah, that's correct. So this was a very interesting feature for me to work on, since I also designed the shooting range in the Hunter Classic. And when I started doing this new feature, I went back and I looked at the Classic range. And yeah, it's pretty limited. We didn't have the resources we have now back then.
Right.
So this time I really wanted to top it. So I went and did more research into what type of clay shooting there is. And the new range has several types of clay shooting in the same layout, which I think is very exciting.
Very exciting is right, because not only is there multiple ways to make use of this range, but you also had multiplayer in mind. In fact, we can now legitimately have competitions at this clay shooting range. Tell us a little bit about that. There was obviously an inspiration there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what we want this range to be is a sort of playground for the player. You can either just go there yourself and practice before going out and hunting birds, or you can bring your friends, and then it becomes really interesting because we have a shared scoreboard where you can compete in the different types of clay shooting.
I can already picture the community challenges we're going to do. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm really excited for this to come to the game. I really am. And as you can see in a clip that we're ready to hear, I had an opportunity before flying out here to Sweden to actually get my hands on it. It's extremely addictive. I will admit, I wasn't aware in the beginning that there was multiple ways that there was different modes. because as you can see, I kind of got caught up in it. It's very challenging. It really helps you hone your skills, especially for our controller players. Being able to take the time and practice. If I was wearing a hat, I would tip it in your general direction. Absolutely fantastic job, well done.
Well, thank you.
So there's a little bit more to come with this. Now, with this range, traditionally we think shotguns and such. Do you want to tell us one of the newer additions or hint at it, perhaps?
Yeah, so with this release, we're also releasing a shotgun, because that's what you need at the shooting range, and also when you're going out and hunting the small game in the reserve.
Absolutely.
And this is a 10 gauge over and under shotgun.
Let's go. Let's go. That is awesome. It's going to certainly tailor for a great experience, and I can't wait for everybody to get their hands on this. But wait, there's more. I think we've saved some of the biggest news for last. And for all our folks out there, you might want to have a seat for this one. We have 2 new additions as well that are coming to the Hunter Call of the Wild. Do you want to tell the folks what those are?
Yeah, so we have 2 new great ones for the first time coming out. One is also a first time bird great one, the pheasant.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting to see how the player deals with a bird great one for the first time and how they're going to go about achieving that. Second one is the Dark Souls of Great Ones we're introducing to the game. It is the Great One Fox. I wish you luck getting that one, and honestly, I'm going to be super interested to see who is the first one amongst the player base who managed to actually get a Great One and get that out into the community. I'm going to be excited to see that.
Are you going to be the first? You've heard the challenge. Now, I'm really excited for these. First off, 2 great ones at the same time is unheard of. Hats off to you guys. But there is a lot of variations that obviously we're going to make the community go and find them this time around. And I can only imagine the time and energies that have gone into this. They're very creative.
Yeah, the team has outdone themselves, like with all the ones we've been getting. Like when we asked for the amounts, like they went above and beyond and delivered even more. So like our community can go through and collect them one by one, and we'll just be able to see them all come together. And like, how many can you actually get? That's amazing to see.
Well, they're going to be a difficult hunt. I can only imagine the fox. I mean, new players come to the game. We always jokingly tell them, go hunt a fox with a bow. Now you need to go hunt a fox, preferably with a bow, to get all of the different variations. Quite a few, I might add, too.
Oh yeah, a Great One Fox with a bow, that's going to be epic.
We put the challenge out to the community. Unbelievable. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to join us here today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Salzwiesen Park and everything we've covered here today is coming on December 3rd. Don't forget to wish list, especially if you want to be the first one to get the new great ones. Thank you, my friends, and on to the next.
Oh, awesome. So we got 3 new boomsticks coming. Yeah, I'm sitting here with Frederick, our lead artist, and Ludwig, our weapon artist. I'm back. I'm Vivi from the community team. Yeah, we got a new weapon pack coming. Can you tell us a bit about what's so exciting about the weapon pack?
Sure. Yeah, from an artist perspective, like I'm now providing feedback. It used to be an artist myself as well. So I'm vicariously living through Ludwig when I see the artwork that is being constructed. They are really amazing looking weapons, like high quality. You can see the tactileness of just the overall weapon, how it functions. That's just awesome to see, right? Just seeing coming everything to life during the production. That's awesome. And we also always trying to like increase the visual fidelity. We're trying to like raise the bar. We're trying to increase the coolness factor of the weapons and more bang for buck, pun intended.
Yeah. And I'm really excited about the fact that we have developed this with the help of the community, and that we are, even though it might not have been perfect, we have opened the gate now and we can get more feedback hopefully. Because at the end of the day, we want to do the best content for the community who are actually players and like that are into the game. And the fact that like, even though the whole pack is bolt action, we try to make them feel a little bit different with the tools we have and the time we have. All of them have different iron sights. One of them has like a little bit of motion where you switch the searing distance. It changes the flip stuff upside. Like that is fun.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I hope the community will like it.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, this community pack is special because we posted in the Discord some polls and let people decide a bit what's coming to this weapon pack. Can you tell us more what's it like to work with the community?
I think it's great to have that early set feedback. We are an established title and we do have a very large community. So being able to get early feedback for us is just really helpful, just from a time perspective alone. But then also fine-tune our product with what the community would expect, would like to see, and kind of make sure that we are both aligned, so to speak. And that is just an awesome opportunity for us. So, from my perspective, I want to do a lot more. But yeah, these were the first baby steps that we took, and it was a good collaboration to more in the future, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
100%. Yeah.
Definitely. Can you tell us more about, in the development process, were there any new things that you've done on this weapon pack?
If you mind, I could start. Obviously, like I love making the weapons for Call of the Wild. I've been doing it for a while. If I could have dream world, I would take it all the weapons for me. Wow, fun! Because it really is fun to work with. But the reality of game development is that key figures or key people are needed on different areas at different times. We want to do exciting stuff for the future. We don't want it to just stop at weapons. So I'm needed elsewhere as well. So now we have had an external artists helping us. So I've been me and Frederick been guiding them and giving them feedback and making them understand our vision with the game and what the weapons are and how to work with it. And like I said, obviously I want to do it all. But the fun part with this is that it leaves up in the future our schedule to be a bit more free, so we can work on more experimental stuff, more exciting stuff for the future, and stuff that might be a bit different from what we have done historically.
I love that word, experiment. It's really exciting for us.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have a take on this as well, or?
No.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
Didn't mean to. Yeah, no, I think it's great to just basically throw spaghetti into the wall and see what sticks, right? And then also having that collaboration with the community, so that we can just get their feedback, get their insights. Again, it's about that collaboration that we don't want to work in a vacuum. We want to make a game that is loved by the community. We're very passionate about giving the community awesome, cool DLCs, right? So getting that collaboration is super invaluable for us. Getting that feedback is just, that's what we're here for. That's awesome. So yeah.
Love that. On this weapon pack, we did work. We brought you along with us on the development process a bit. We wanted the community to see what goes into making a weapon pack and get a better idea of how long it takes and why. Can you explain a bit more about the process of making a weapon pack?
Sure. Yeah, everything starts off obviously from a design perspective. They got their finger on the pulse, and then obviously, again, the community is very valuable here. But then once we decided we nailed down the what, then we go into reference searching, and a lot of that has been done by Ludwig in-house. And then once we have the reference material, so basically how the bolt functions, how everything fits together, right? But even like how the wear affects a weapon, how the gunk buildup, how the oil is affecting the metal, like all these things we research. And then once we have a full picture of the weapon itself, then we kind of make a blockout, which is a very rough approximation, but it has all the dimensions of it. And basically what we then do is give that out to animation. So animation can start at the same time as we also working throughout basically increasing the graphical fidelity of the weapon to a point where will see it that it is right now in game. The main point is that is because we have a short window of development time, so we need to be very strategic in the amount of resources that we use, how we plan the production, and move forward to that extent. But yeah, once everything has been handed over to animation, then it's been passed over to tech animation, to programmers. There are so many different one-man departments involved, even though we don't have that many people involved. It's just a lot of single departments. And it's so privileged to represent these people and to, don't represent, but at least the art side of it, and to see it coming from block out all the way to finished, and you see the audio, you see the animations. That's awesome.
Comes to life.
Exactly. It comes to life, and that's awesome to see.
That's beautiful.
I would love to add on that. I think what you said was perfect. It's like you really put you put it out perfectly. But I want to add as well, like you said, it's a lot of chefs in this.
Absolutely.
And like you said, we don't always have the privilege of like the longest development time.
Yep.
And the reason for this is, of course, because we want to hand cool stuff to the community. We don't want you guys to have to wait for a year to get like a DLC. We want to be able to give you stuff and give you like new updates and fun stuff. And like you said, we have a lot of key people, and game development is not really linear in the sense that if we're making a weapon pack, if we were taking it from stage 1 to like finished and having all these people on standby, that would be wasted time, because some people can't start working until a certain process is done and given over to them. So we have a lot of people, key people, jumping between different work, and me included. So that's why I think the external team is so good, because now we have like, I can put the effort in to like give them feedback, give them like explain how we think and what we do, but also put the trust in them while I'm at other places developing other stuff, and then I can jump back when I'm needed, or Frederick can jump back and take in. Like, it's the process. And by having that development, we can work on more stuff simultaneously and get more to the community. And I think that's a thing that is often overlooked, even for developers. You're like, a weapon is simple, but it's also in itself it's simple, but with the whole, every cog kind of intersects. And like Frederick said, we are quite a big team now, but historically we haven't been very big. And even now when we are big, we're still a lot of key people.
Yeah, one department.
Like
100%.
before I used to do most of the weapons alone, and now we have an external team. We can do more. It's fun.
And then you can focus on a lot of like really fun stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of things that we want to experiment with, and I'm so excited for the future to basically to see what is possible and to see what we can bring back to the community.
I wish they knew.
Awesome. Exactly. I wish.
I know we can't say anything.
Yeah, exactly. Secrecy abound, but we got so many things cooking. Yeah, the oven is full. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Super excited for this weapon pack. Thank you so much, Frederick and Ludwig, for joining us today.
Thank you.
The Hunter's Choice Bolt Action Rifle Pack is coming on December 3rd. Super excited to bring it to you. It was co-created with the community. Yeah, we're excited. Next segment.
Jaxie back again, and I'm really excited to introduce you to our next guest, Daniel, one of our lead designers. You have some exciting news for the community.
Yes, I do. Thank you, Jaxie.
Pleasure to have you here, my friend.
And thank you, everyone. I'm really excited to be here, just having the opportunity to talk to you, to talk to the community, and also really excited to talk about the future of Hunt Club. Yeah.
You know, I've been looking forward to this. Hunt Club has, it's always been very close and dear to my heart since I was a brand new player. Almost 8 years now I've been playing. And I know there's a lot of you out there that have relied on Hunt Club over the years to help us get ahead and, you know, have fun with as well. So there's a lot of changes with it. First off, it's no longer Hunt Club.
Thank you. Yes, that's the first thing. So we have a new name for it.
Okay.
So Hunt Club has been out for quite some time, and we learned a lot from it. We learned that players engage with it in different ways, like some of them have specific challenges that they like to take, some of them want more challenges, others have not engaged with the feature so far. But we wanted to make sure that we brought all of those learnings, and we wanted to change the name to reflect that. So now we're calling it Challenges, as now is our place, our hub, to commit only to challenges. And you will find a lot of fun things to do in there.
Now, I mean, with that, before we get into too many details on there, you know, we've had, let's say, community expectations for what Hunt Club is, right? With it changing to challenges, it's got a whole new look. There's quite a few changes that come with it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Thank you, Jaxie. Yes, so we made a lot of changes to this to make sure that it's easier to use. So there's a lot of usability improvements to it. And we also have new things that we brought in when it comes to player choice. This is one of the biggest things that we wanted to design for, and that is because players like to hunt in different ways. They like to engage with the game in different ways. So we wanted to make sure that we had a platform that reflects that. And now players can choose their challenges. Yes.
Interesting. Tell me more. So I have to ask, currently, Hunt Club is only available on the weekends. Now, as we move to challenges, how does this affect the player? What more does that entail?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because now we will be having challenges in two formats, which is you will be having daily challenges. Yes, daily.
Dailies.
Yeah.
Dailies in the Hunter, Call of the Wild. Let's go.
Yep. And you can choose the one that you want. We are going to give you options so you can choose which one you want for that day.
Like a tailored experience.
Yes, and you can choose up to 3 challenges per day. And then the same thing for weekly challenges. We're going to show you 3 options, and you can select one of them for your weekly challenge.
Okay. Now, I would imagine there's quite a difference between the daily and a weekly challenge. Your daily, you could jump on, get done in a period of time.
Absolutely, yes. So daily challenges are meant for players to just sit down if they want to hunt in a specific way, or if they find a challenge that is particularly aligned with what they like, they can just go ahead and take it. And these are challenges that will take you maybe 1 hour to complete, right?
Okay.
But when it comes to weekly challenges, that could be a little bit more tough for you to complete.
A little more involved?
Yeah, like hunting a snow leopard in a very specific conditions, right?
Okay. Oh, you have my attention.
Yeah.
So this actually sounds pretty challenging, if you will. Sorry. It is very interesting, though, because, you know, again, as I've said, a lot of us, you know, we had a lot of experience with Hunt Club. So hearing that we're going to get the dailies, we're going to have the weeklies, you might not be able to answer this one, but of course, everybody's asking it right now. I can almost hear them on the other side of the glass. Is there going to be some sort of rewards? Do we have ideas for future rewards, or how is that going to work?
Yeah, so I can tell you a little bit about that. So we wanted to make sure that we had a very nice experience for both new players and experienced players here. And this is because sometimes when you start playing the game, you need cash to get the things that you want, right?
Yes.
Ammo, tents, yes. There are many things that you need to get. But we also wanted to look into what we can bring in for experienced players.
Okay.
And this is something that in the future, for 2025, one of our goals is to design for rewards and try to expand on the rewards that we will be bringing to the players.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like the sound of that, and I'm sure a lot of you do as well. That means that we can afford all the tents that we need to put on our map. It's just another way to help tailor our gaming experience. And I really like the option of being able to just jump on, get some dailies done, and not have to do those weeklies all at once.
Yes, and again, for now, the challenges that we will be having with this new version, both dailies and weekly challenges, the reward mainly is going to be experience and cash. But the next iteration of it that we're working on right now, I can tell you a little bit about it. We're investigating rewards and how to expand that offering.
I have to tell you, Dan, I'm really interested to see, the proverbial rabbit that you're all pulling out of your hats right now, because I can only imagine what some of these challenges are going to look like. I mean, are they all shooting challenges?
Well, not all of them. Actually, we have two types of challenges now. So you will be having your harvest challenges, which you can just go and harvest the specific objective that you have for the challenge. But we have a new type of challenge, which is photo challenges.
Oh my.
Yep.
Really?
It's happening.
So we need to get as handy with a camera as we are with our guns.
Yes. Yeah.
I like where this is going. This brings back memories of Leighton Lakes and trying to get two bears into one picture. That was tough.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah, it's it takes some time to manage to frame that. But now we will be having photo challenges in different reserves and different types of animals. So we're looking forward to see how many of you engage with that. And of course, player choice is at the forefront, which means that you get to choose if you want to take a harvest challenge or a photo challenge.
I love the sound of this. Daniel, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but in our Discord, shameless plug, there's many, let me say, passionate photographers. You'll see pictures crop up all the time of our various different reserves. So now to think that we're going to be able to put that into a gameplay format, that's fantastic. This is really exciting. I'm sure a lot of work and time and energy has gone into this. There's probably lots of plans on how this is going to progress. Could you tell us about any of the future development plans for the new challenges?
Of course. What I can tell you is that we are really committed to make sure that we keep improving the challenges. So we have a team dedicated for that.
Okay.
And we will keep working on the next iteration. And of course, the ones that will come after that, because we want to bring in all the feedback from all of you watching and everyone that will be playing. And we want to learn as much as we can to make sure that we have the best challenges that we can have for all of you. And what we are looking for forward on 2025, it's going to be expanding the offering of challenges, and also, like I said, looking into expanding the rewards that we will be having for players. And the other thing that we will be bringing on 2025 is going to be community challenges.
Oh, that gets me excited. I'm just going to tell you, I think if there's a lot of long-term players right now, you'll all remember the excitement of going out there and getting as many whitetails as we could to obtain the Stradivarius skin. By far, still one of the best looking skins. One of my favorites, and it's on the 270. I can only imagine what the possibilities are in store in the future. So I know a lot of this comes from community feedback. I know that, we take a lot of what they say, and clearly we can see that in what you're doing here, because this is really, Daniel, this has truly been a big requested feature, yes. Right? And I'm so pleased to hear we're moving away from the weekends, once again, looking at dailies, weeklies, varying difficulties, photography challenges. This is exciting, Daniel.
Well, we're really excited to bring this to everyone. So you'll get to see this just in a few weeks. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Please reach out. We will be paying attention, and we want to use all of your feedback to keep improving challenges. Thank you.
Well, this has certainly been exciting. I cannot wait for the challenges to come to the Hunter Call of the Wild. Daniel, absolutely incredible energies and time that you've put into this. I know our folks are really going to appreciate it. You can all expect to see this with the update coming on December 3rd. Back to you, Alexander and Stacy.
Wow, what an incredible lineup. What an amazing job our devs have done getting everything ready for the end of the year. And it's all going to be coming to you on December 3rd, and you can wish list already now. But as cool as our 2024 is going to be, we also have a very exciting 2025.
That's right. In fact, we have one more thing to show you. Yes, we're going to go back to 2 reserves in 2025. We've listened to all of you in the community and spent a lot of time ensuring that we can keep delivering the high quality that you've come to expect from us.
Yes, huge news. We are absolutely thrilled to be able to offer 2 reserves next year. It's going to be double the fun. But we are equally excited for everything coming this December, like that adorable doggo, the absolutely stunning Salzwiesen Park, and of course, the Hunter's Choice bolt-action rifle pack, which you all helped us design.
You're right. I'm very excited about the clay shooter, actually. And now I'm formally challenging you to a duel for a beer.
Well, okay, I accept this challenge, specifically because I've been practicing a lot on the clay shooter, and I actually challenge anyone to not get addicted to it because it's a fantastic new feature. But we also have a lot of free stuff coming.
That's right. We have the Hunter challenges, and of course, 2 great ones. So with that said, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. I want to thank the dev team and everybody who's working on this fantastic game.
Yes, thank you all for spending 8 fantastic years with us. We want to thank the entire community, and thank you for joining us today. Happy hunting.
Wow, that was truly amazing.
Yeah, what a show. Did you see that teaser?
I did. My hairs are still standing on end. What about the dog?
Looks amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah, it was really, really good. If you guys are watching us live right now, come and join us in the Discord. Continue the conversation. We'll be live answering your questions. We'll hope to see you there.
It's a Discord party. But before you do that, you gotta smash that like button and hit subscribe as well.
Do it with 2 heads if you gotta.
All right, see you there.